Hell in a Cell is a day away, and yet WWE has only announced 4 matches for the show. Nevertheless, that's still 4 matches to forecast. Join us now as Wrestlelamia predicts all your winners for this year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. SmackDown Women's Championship match, Bayley defends against Charlotte Flair. Fans were surprised that Charlotte didn't get a rematch after Bayley bamboozled her way into a win over the Queen at Clash of Champions. Now it looks like Charlotte's win over Bayley on the 20th anniversary episode of SmackDown has opened the door for this matchup. Will the hugger embrace her heel side during the match against Flair, or will she continue saying that she's just doing what's best to promote the SmackDown women's division? Either way, this should be an excellent match if the WWE gives these two the time to showcase their skills. Their Clash of Champions match went less than 4 minutes, not even enough time to get the crowd warmed up. While Charlotte has a slight edge over Bayley in wrestling skills, the champion will either use the champion's advantage, the belt cannot change hands on a disqualification or a countout, or some underhanded tactics to retain. Winner, Bayley. The Bludgeon Brothers, Luke Harper and Rowan, versus Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns are looking for revenge on Rowan, with Bryan seeking retribution over what he sees as a betrayal by the man he called his friend, and the big dog looking to punish Rowan for trying to kill him, which is about all the motivation anyone would need. The problem is that the already dangerous Rowan has paired back up with his brother in bludgeoning, Luke Harper, and the two present a formidable threat to Reigns and Bryan. On top of this, Wrestlelamia can't help but smell a rat in the form of one Daniel Bryan, who formed a tenuous alliance with Reigns, but who has been a heel for less than a year. The idea of Bryan turning on Reigns during the match and revealing he's been working with Rowan all along seems like one possible angle, although it might interfere with Rowan's new direction as his own man. Another possibility is Bryan turning on Roman just because he can, and later pointing out what a sap Reigns was for trusting him. Bryan wouldn't have to team up with Rowan, but simply continue his eco-friendly heel antics. Hell in a Cell match for the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defends against Sasha Banks. The man has been all over the place, and the WWE continues pushing her as not only one of their top female stars, but one of their all-around top stars. This was evident by WWE putting Becky in the ring alongside The Rock during the opening segment of the Fox debut of Friday Night SmackDown, as The Rock helped put Lynch over during their altercation with King Corbin. Interestingly enough, it looks like Lynch is going to be on SmackDown if the recent wave of advertisements featuring her prominently on the blue brand are any indication. Thus, many fans see Lynch losing to Banks at Hell in a Cell, setting things up for the man to be drafted to SmackDown. While it's possible Lynch could retain and still get drafted, there's plenty for her to do on SmackDown, and it's even possible Banks could get traded there, giving Lynch a new venue to continue their feud. Wherever Banks and Lynch end up, WrestleLamia is predicting Sasha Banks will get the Duke over Lynch, becoming Raw Women's Champion. Winner, Sasha Banks. Hell in a Cell match for the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins defends against The Fiend. Bray Wyatt's devilish doppelganger has been making the Universal Champion's life a living hell with repeated run-ins dating back to the closing moments of Clash of Champions and continuing through the 4 October episode of Friday Night SmackDown when The Fiend threw Rollins off the stage. To make matters worse, The Fiend seems to have found a way into Rollins' psyche, and the Beast Slayer appears to be deathly afraid of his latest opponent. However, The Fiend's actions over the last few weeks have also made him some enemies, chief amongst them Braun Strowman. While the monster among men seems to be headed for a confrontation with boxing champion Tyson Fury, he might be looking for some payback at Hell in a Cell. There's also another X factor at play in this match: WWE legend The Undertaker, who rumor has it is being positioned for at least one match against The Fiend. Is it possible that the Phenom has taken offense at The Fiend trying to horn in on his status as the WWE's resident dweller of darkness? More than a few fans think Hell in a Cell could be a good place for The Undertaker to clash with The Fiend, setting up their match and allowing Seth Rollins to somehow retain. Hopefully the WWE will go with a non-finish for the match if there is interference, as a pinfall loss for The Fiend would hurt his character and do nothing for Rollins. As Wrestlelamia has discussed in previous videos, Seth Rollins is on shaky grounds with the fans and is clearly not working as Raw's #1 babyface. Conversely, The Fiend continues to get over, and the WWE has a true phenomenon on their hands, no offense to The Undertaker, that they should protect and utilize properly. Look for Seth Rollins to retain, but not by pinning the Fiend without some help from outside, and we don't mean Ramblin' Rabbit. Well guys, there you have it, Wrestlalamia's picks for all the winners at Hell in a Cell. Are you looking forward to the Rage in the Cage event? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.